Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome on into my beauty stash. I'm back in the AC, back in my normal filming room. The AC is fixed for now. There is a very tiny Freon leak and the technician, he couldn't even find it by spraying that solution to where it bubbles up, kind of like if you're looking for a gas leak. But he said give it 3 months. If it's still cooling, keep using it. If it starts freezing up again, then hopefully he can find the leak. Maybe it got bigger or I'm gonna have to get a new one. So I'm leaning more on the getting a new one side. I definitely don't want to have any more AC issues or heating issues once it gets cold. So I'll likely replace this within the next month or two, but at least it's gonna get me through the next couple months, God willing. Today's video is not about my air condition, but that's what I've been talking about all weekend because I've been struggling with the heat. Today's video is all about the new Maple Syrup Pancakes palette from Too Faced. Super cute packaging, cardboard packaging, in case that you are wondering. I'm guessing this is their fall release for 2023. Not entirely sure, but it's looking like it might be. Maple Syrup Pancakes. Let's take a peek inside this one. So here is the 18 pan color story. There are 13 shimmer shadows and there are 5 matte shades. This palette retails for, it was $54 on the Ulta Beauty website. I picked up mine in store. I believe this is already available on the Too Faced website as well, and I'm assuming it'll hit all Too Faced retailers really soon. I am going to be very upfront with you. This palette felt like it had hard pan, the shimmers especially, they felt dry. I thought that the mattes felt a little bit better than the shimmers, but it wasn't a fabulous time swatching this palette. So going into it with those expectations already, we'll see. I don't know why they called this Maple Syrup Pancakes. I'm not really getting Maple Syrup Pancakes vibes from the color story, but I am liking the shades. I mean, look, we have a green there, so automatically it's a winner. We have like this purple, deeper blue, but it's definitely a more shimmer heavy palette than a matte heavy palette, and that might be a little unfortunate because it was the shimmer shadows that swatched out or just felt like they had hard pan already. I will say I bought their last palette, which was the Italian Spritz palette, and I'm going to compare palettes of the past towards the end of the video when I wrap up everything and give you guys my final thoughts on it. But that palette, upon initial swatching, also felt like it had hard pan. So we'll see, guys. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, if this palette doesn't work out for me, this is going to be my last Too Faced eyeshadow palette review. So let's see. Fingers crossed that it can, you know, stick around, the brand can stick around. But yeah, if it doesn't work when it comes to Too Faced eyeshadows, I'm just gonna start passing because $54 is $54, and for something not to work for that price point, it's a little bit discouraging. But nonetheless, we're gonna give it a fair shot. If it is your first time here on my channel, let me just say hello and welcome to all of you. My name is Steff and I try out a lot of new makeup. You're always gonna see new makeup reviews on my channel, makeup ranking videos, haul videos, get ready with me. If that all sounds great to you, I want to invite you to become part of our makeup family. Do me a favor, click on that subscribe button, hit the bell next to it. That way you can be notified every time I do drop a new video. And if you're a fan of Too Faced or you're just curious to see how it is going to perform, be sure to give this video a thumbs up before you go. Let's get started with the two looks. If you guys want to see the new Too Faced Maple Syrup Pancakes palette in action, keep on watching. Okay, so I've already primed my eyelids with the Bella Beaute Bar eyeshadow primer. Now, what do we want to do? I gotta work with this green. You know, like green is my favorite color, so automatically, like this is really calling my name. So I think I'm gonna go in with this first. This is Morning Matcha. Okay, that makes sense. Green for tea. Okay, Kiss My Griddle, a la mode. I'm looking at all of the shade names. It looks like they kept it pretty PG. So we'll start with Morning Matcha in the crease. I'm using my Game Beauty E01. I'm just going to stamp this in the crease and then lightly blend it out. My thoughts and prayers are with all of you in Florida right now. who are preparing for, I think it's going to be a hurricane by the time it hits, right? Idalia. Make sure you have all your supplies ready. Usually Floridians already know the drill. You guys are used to hurricane preparedness. Then I was also watching the news right now on what's going on in North Carolina, Chapel Hill, the university over there. Oh my goodness. And it was their first day of school. It's just a sad situation all around. I'm praying for everybody's safety. Okay, so this shade, I don't know why I'm getting like glitter particles. I don't know if it was what was on the brush or if maybe some, when I was swatching from a nearby shade, got in the pan. It doesn't look like it, but yeah, if you see little glitter particles, it's not the shade. The shade is a matte. It's pretty. I mean, it blended out. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Hotcakes right here, this dark brown, and we'll just use that to deepen up the outer corner. I'm gonna bring it into the lower part of the crease as well. I'm using a BK Beauty A504. I am currently wear testing the new MAC foundation. You guys should see that foundation review go up either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, and it is Monday afternoon when I am filming this particular video. Probably Monday evening when you're watching it, because I did say it was going to go up Monday evening. Don't forget about the the Nomad Ghost Town USA launch happening tonight at 11 p.m. CST. Today is Monday, August the 28th. And my affiliate code Steff10 will give you 10% off of your order. Okay, so I think we have a nice blend there with the mattes. Now we're gonna play with some of these shimmers. You know what? I think I want to go in with this shade right here. Actually, no. I'm gonna go in with a la mode, and then I can use this maybe as a topper and in the inner corner. So a la mode is gonna be like a purple shimmer shadow. And I'm taking this on a damp Game Beauty E04. You're definitely going to want to spray these shimmer shadows to get them to be as impactful as possible. I mean, if that's what you're going for. That looks pretty. I'm going to stop like right there. Okay, not bad, not bad. I mean, it's not like duo or multi-chrome. This is not indie makeup. Like, it's not that intensity we're used to, but it still looks pretty. Now I'm going to go in with that pink shade, that pink shimmer shadow. That one's called Sleepin' In. And I'm going to take that on my damp Refer 03. So I pick up the product first, and then I just spray it with some setting spray. The one I'm using is still the Rick and Morty from Glamlite. Just focus that in here. I did feel a little bit of fallout from the shade. I think you can see the fallout though from this one. Could also just be the style of brush that I'm using. Now on a BK 210, I think I'm gonna go back in with the matte brown. Do I want to do that? I'll start there. Hotcakes. Actually, no. I'll go to hazelnuts right here. I do have mascara on already. The mascara I'm wearing is the So Fierce mascara from Revlon. Speaking of lip color, there was one of those lip plumpers, I think it was like a cinnamon flavor or something, released alongside this palette, but I didn't pick it up. Those Too Faced like lip plumpers, lip injection or whatever, they're not my favorite. I would have rather have been like a liquid lipstick. I do like those. Last year was the pumpkin spice one. It was so good. Or was the year before? Okay, so this is looking pretty decent. I'm going to add some more mascara, maybe some lashes, I don't know, but do the eyeliner off camera, and I'll be right back to show you this completed look number 1. Okay, so here is the completed look number 1. I like the way the look turned out. You know, the shimmer's okay. It's not bad. I'm liking the lighter pink. I feel like that's popping a little bit more, but the purple was not half bad. For mascara, I already told you the big, what is it called? Big Bad Lash. Oh, I thought it was, oh, it's So Fierce Big Bad Lash from Revlon. Rare Beauty eyeliner to tightline the top lash line. I did decide to put some lashes on. They were the ones I actually wore yesterday. House of Lashes Boudoir Lite. And then for the lower waterline, a NYX Epic Wear liner. This one is in the shade All Time Olive. I was either going to go with this one or like a lavender one, but I don't know, I just kind of wanted to bring some of that green back or down to the lower waterline, so that's why I chose that. And I like it. You know, so far so good. We'll see. We'll see. We got one more look to create. Let's move over to the left eye and we'll start working on look number 2. All right, for look number 2, I think I'm going to go in with Flapjack first, and then I'm going to go down to Short Stack. And I'm taking the shade Flapjack. Flapjack on a BK, what is this? 211. Tongue-tied. Now I'm going in with the shade Short Stack, and I'm using the same BK Beauty brush. Just gonna focus that out here and work it in the crease. Okay, so I seem to be getting a pretty decent blend when it comes to the matte shadows. I mean, they're not patchy or anything. They're blending out. You know, they said that this was gonna smell. Oh yeah, a little bit. But it's like the Italian spritz. Like, I don't feel my palette smelled. Like, I could smell like the pumpkin spice scent, the gingerbread scent, but and when they had like that cocoa scent, but yeah, you have to really get up close. It's nothing that, I mean, I totally forgot, and the only reason like I sniffed was because it did say that it was going to smell like maple syrup pancakes, but it's nothing like if I hadn't have read that, like I wouldn't have known there was a scent, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's do, what do I want to do? I don't know. For the first time, I don't know. If I do this, it's gonna get dark and smoky. I could do the blue. I love blue and brown together. I guess we could do these two. Maybe even this one right here. So use these 3. Let's try this one. This one is Blueberry Jam. I'm using my damp Morphe M124. So I'm gonna focus this like on the outer half. And then we'll do the lighter shade on the inner half. This feels kind of like a sequin shade, like a matte with sparkle in it, because it's pretty opaque. Yeah, that's some good payoff there. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with Fork Yeah, which is right next to it. I'm spraying the brush. Felt a little bit of fallout. Ooh, that's pretty. Gonna need to kind of clean up that crease a little bit, but yeah, you can see the fallout right there. All right, now for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with this shade called Cup of Joe, and I think I am gonna spray the brush. I'm using a damp Refer 26. I'm going back in up here with the shade Short Stack, which was the second matte shade, just to blend along the edge where I have the shimmer. Now on a damp Refer 03, I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Brunch Bubbles. Ooh, that's pretty. Wow, this has got to be the most intense shimmer in the whole palette. Well, I am so pleased to see that these shimmers definitely perform better than how they swatched. definitely spray your brush, for sure. Okay guys, I'm gonna take care of the finishing touches off camera. I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 2. Okay, so here is look number 2. I didn't do any liner on the top lash line. I just felt like it was dark enough. The lash band was enough, but I touched up the mascara. And for the lower waterline, I went in with the one I used recently, Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Sabbath. I like it. I like the way this look turned out. Really cool, really pretty. I love blue and brown together. Pleasantly surprised by this palette. Let me go ahead and wrap up today's video. I'm going to share with you all my final thoughts, and I have 3 other Too Faced palettes, a fall past and one from this past spring that I'm going to compare this one to. Okay guys, so I was able to use 12 out of the 18 shades in this Maple Syrup Pancakes palette from Too Faced. Pleasantly surprised at how the shimmers performed, given that they really swatched dry. It felt like it had hard pan. I didn't have any issues with the mattes, thank goodness, because the mattes are what really anchor our look. But you know, this might be one of those palettes where you shouldn't just go by arm swatches alone. And definitely with all palettes, like, don't just go by how they swatch on the arm. You really got to see how they perform on the lid. I am gonna 100% recommend to spray your brush when applying the shimmers. If you want to lay down some glitter glue, I did get a little bit of fallout, but nothing to where, you know, it disturbed the makeup underneath. But you know, I think it's a cute color story. You're limited on the mattes. There's only 5 mattes, and they're all pretty neutral mattes, which I guess is good because these are more colorful shimmers. But, you know, I'm really liking this green. Green is just, you know, one of my favorite colors. What can I say? So let me know your thoughts on this one. This is, I think, their fall release. This has to be their fall release because usually they come out around this time. Usually the fall release is the best palette, I think, of the year from Too Faced. So what I'm thinking of doing, because let's start looking at palettes of the past. Italian Spritz is in the tin packaging. A lot of you have said when a palette comes in tin packaging, that means it's better than what's in cardboard. I don't necessarily think that's true because this initially performed well, but it did swatch kind of dry. And then when I went in to use it like a month later, some of those shimmer shadows were totally hard pan. Like, I couldn't even get them to pop. This is what Italian Spritz looks like. It is very different from Maple Syrup Pancakes. Let me just hold them up one on top of the other so you guys can see. So Maple Syrup is on top, Italian Spritz is at the bottom. You know, I like the color story of Italian Spritz. I just wish the formula was a little better. And, you know, I just wish they kept doing the tin packaging. They've already increased the price to $54. I think these used to be like $48. So, yeah, I liked that packaging. It just felt a little bit better. But you know what? Majority of palettes nowadays come in cardboard packaging, so I don't really mind it. This was their release from last year. This is Pumpkin Spice Second Slice. This is definitely like fall vibes all around. This is your neutral orange, warm tone color story. I really don't think there's much similarity between the two, which I like. You know, I like that they gave us something totally different. New one is at the top, Second Slice is at the bottom. But you can see they're really different. Even this shade right here in the Second Slice palette kind of looks like this one, but they're not. They're definitely different shades. I think they'd make nice complements to one another. Maybe this is the only time you buy a Too Faced palette during the fall. I think for me, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna skip out like next year if they release something, you know, in the spring like they did Italian Spritz, like spring going into summer. I'll probably skip out on that and then just try their fall palettes. This was from a couple years ago, Pumpkin Spice palette. I loved this one. I thought that this one performed well, but you know, after a while, the same thing with the shimmers and they feel like they're getting hard pan. This is definitely a more matte heavy palette. I don't think you can find these palettes anymore. I think the only one that you'll be able to find is the Italian Spritz palette, since it was a 2023 release. So you have maple syrup at the top and then pumpkin spice at the bottom. The only place I think you can find like these pumpkin spice palettes and the gingerbread spice and all of that is probably like at TJ Maxx or Ross or Marshall's. I don't think that Too Faced has them anymore on their website, and I'm pretty sure like Ulta and other retailers have since sold their stock, but I could be wrong. And then of course you can always check like eBay or Mercari and all that stuff for maybe a lightly used palette if you really wanted to have some of those fall palettes of the past. But overall, guys, you know, I don't get the scent. I don't get a whiff of anything. So if you're buying it just for that, I think you're going to be disappointed. I think the cover art is really cute. Cardboard packaging, and I like the color story. I think the color story is really good. I'm really happy to see that green matte shade. It'll be interesting to see when I try this again how those shimmers are going to perform, if it's going to be a disappointment like Italian Spritz was after the fact. So I'll keep you guys posted. You'll see another look go up probably as a YouTube short or Instagram reel later on, maybe within the coming weeks. But I'm not going to give it 2 thumbs up. I'm going to give it 1.5 thumbs up. I'm going to give it that just because I have a feeling it might turn into what Italian Spritz did for me. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts, guys. What did you think of this palette? Which look was your favorite? Are you going to be purchasing or passing on this new one from Too Faced? Sound off in the comments down below. Oh! And one more thing, you know what? I'm going to grab the Tarte palette real quick because I wanted to compare them really quick side by side in case you were wondering which palette you should grab. Okay, so here we go. This is the new Tarte Maneater Nightfall palette, and then this is the new one from Too Faced. Both dropped this weekend at Ulta Beauty in stores and online. If you're going to ask me to choose between the two, Tarte all day long. And I do have a review where I'm creating 3 looks with the Nightfall palette, so you guys can check it out. Now, I want to thank all of you all so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I'm going to see you all very soon. Bye.